Hi everyone, welcome to week 11 of English 97. This week I would like to focus on revisiting your second essay, your second essay, which was on an interest that you have. So in this video I'm going to walk you guys through the assignments for this week and then a little bit about the portfolio, which is the reason why we're revisiting these essays. So I wanted to explain a little bit more about that and then talk about what specifically I'd like you to do this week. So let's go ahead and get started. The two assignments we have this week are going to be very similar to what we've done before. We have a discussion board due Thursday and then a revision of Essay 2 due this coming Sunday. So I think there might have been some confusion last week about what I mean by a revised version of Essay 2. So what I mean is, now that you've had a few weeks away from the essay, I want you to look back at it again, and I want you to do another round of changing, adding, fixing, moving, another kind of look at it with fresh eyes. And so this video, I'm going to talk about what specifically you might focus on in revision. So I'll go through an example of a student from a previous class and then kind of give you some direction with that. So I wanted to talk though a little bit about the portfolio that will be starting in a few weeks. So we are writing 3 essays in English 97 since I decided to drop the 4th one. And your portfolio is going to be a collection of your work from this semester. So the portfolio will include 2 essays. So we've done 3. So in a few weeks, once we've revised all 3 of them, you'll choose your top 2. And that is what you're going to turn in with your portfolio. We're also going to write a cover letter, which is going to be, hold on. So wait, stop. My dog wants to play. So we are going to write a cover letter of your revision, but that cover letter is literally just going to talk about how did you revise your writing and, what did you change? What did you notice as you went over it again? And that is why I'm focusing really heavily on revision this week and last week and next week. So like I said, we'll choose 2 of the essays you've revised this semester and we'll include those in your portfolio. So hopefully once we've done this the second round of revision with each essay, at the end of the semester, you'll have, some nice, polished, improved writing that you're really proud of. Sometimes it just takes more than one try, and that's why we're really focusing on revision here. So, some common questions I get about the portfolio. Who reads them? And the answer to that is a group of faculty from the English department. I will not be the one reading your portfolio to grade it, but I do have the final say in whether you pass the course. So if the people who read the essay in the English department are like, I don't know if it's 101 ready or not, then I get the final say in whether I feel like the work that we've done in class has been enough for you to be successful in 101. Another question I get a lot is, how are these graded? And we'll go over this more in a few weeks, but the answer is that they use a rubric, kind of like the ones we use for our essays. And they're graded on if we can see self-reflection in your writing. They're graded on content, development, and style. And these are all things that we've covered in English 97, and these are all things that you guys are very capable of doing. So after the portfolio process, your portfolio is either determined to be English 101 ready, which means that you pass English 97 with a P, and that you can enroll in English 101 if you need to, or other 100 level classes. If your portfolio is not considered English 101 ready, then you can choose to repeat English 97 to give you some extra practice with writing. So my goal though is for all of you to not need to repeat the course. And that's why I decided to drop our 4th essay and to give you guys the opportunity to really focus on just these 3 topics that we've looked at. So this week, we're revisiting our second essay, which I honestly think is some of your all's strongest writing in our course so far. This was an essay on something that you have an interest in. So just to remind you, here's a kind of screenshot of the assignment sheet. This essay focused on having a main idea, a thesis, and then supporting it with concrete details, examples, and reasons. So you needed a thesis, your topic, and then why you care about it. You needed to tell your reader about your interest, and then I wanted you to also encourage your reader to get involved with that interest themselves. So I remember some of you writing about dancing, about politics, about horticulture, and just like a really wide range of interests. So I think that this essay is really neat in getting able to, get to know you guys on a personal level. So what we're going to do this week is not rewrite this. We are going to look back at what you wrote a few weeks ago, because we started this essay in week 4. So it's been a few weeks, and we're going to look back at it and kind of make some adjustments and some changes a second time around. So there are a couple of readings that I'd like you guys to start with this week. A PDF on what's called localized revision. And this is really going to walk you through all of what I want you to focus on this week, which is specifically the paragraphs, the body of your essay 2, and the transitions between them. And then there is also a video from Scribber on transitions in academic essays. So I want you guys to start here, read these, do our discussion board for this week, and then work on revising your second essay. And honestly, it's okay if you make just a couple changes, or if you focus really hard on just one paragraph. I don't want you to reinvent your writing, but just to improve on it. So this essay, because the purpose of our essay was to give worthwhile, description and examples and reasons why you are interested in this topic, that's what I want you to focus on. So we're going to focus on your use of paragraphs. So I'm going to go through an example in a minute here, but a couple questions that you want to think about. How many paragraphs do you have? Is it enough? If you only have 2, you probably need, I would say, probably closer to 5 or 6. Are they in the best order? Do you start with sort of where you got started with your interest and then end up encouraging others? And then I want you to look a little more deeply at the topic sentence, which is going to be the first sentence in each paragraph. Does that tell you what the paragraph is about? And then are there transitions where you need them? And then this is where that transition video from Scribber is going to really come in handy. So let's look at an example I have from a previous class. This was from a student who wrote about photography. So the first thing I want you to do when you go to revise your essay 2, go back to the final draft assignment on Blackboard. And I'm sharing this with my students' permission. But here you'll see any comments or marks that I've given you in the draft. And a couple of these here, like you can see where these blue lines are, that usually means I want you to make a new paragraph there. You may have comments like this, and then there is also a rubric that you should see, and you can see, specifically what I was looking for in each part of your essay. So make sure that you look this over. If you haven't revisited my feedback, please do that first. All right, and then what we're gonna do is kind of go through the student Amaya's essay and talk about how she might revise. So Amaya was really passionate about photography, and she starts her essay saying, have you ever thought about what it feels like when you take pictures? Well, for me, it was my escape from reality and capture the beautiful moments, good and bad. I thought this was a really beautiful way to start because it really gets me kind of thinking about what I take pictures of and that feeling behind it. And then we're gonna skip down to her thesis. She says here, I don't know what I would have done if I had not thought of trying or deciding to try photography as an escape and a way to relax and let everything go for the time being. And I think her thesis is really strong. So what Amaya can do while she revises is look back at my feedback, and here I said maybe she should start a new paragraph here. So when she goes back into her draft, what she's gonna do is she's gonna find, let's see, when you grow up with so much going on in life, the little things help, and in my case it was photos. In my case it was photos, and that's right here. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna hit enter here and just create a new paragraph. And then she's gonna go back to my comments and say, okay, ooh, here's another one right before where she says in high school. And that's where she's gonna create another paragraph. Once she's done that, I would encourage her to read the first sentence in each paragraph. She says, growing up, I've always admired certain pictures, the ones that got the good and bad side of things, even if it does not seem like it could be a bad side. And actually, I can't download this as a Word document. That would be more helpful. So that tells me that this paragraph is going to talk about growing up and giving the good and bad side of pictures. So I'm going to read through this paragraph and then see, okay, does this whole paragraph talk about that subject? And here was where I felt like she was moving to a new idea. So that means a new paragraph. And then our readings will also talk to you guys about transitions between ideas. So this phrase here, growing up, is a transition, where she later says, in high school, I took a photography class, and one thing I realized by using film cameras, this in high school is also a transition. It tells me, oh, ooh, new idea. And typically that means a new paragraph. So she goes from growing up and then ends up with this part in high school. And then she goes to the thing that makes best photos magnificent is how you change or alter them. And then she talks about the difference between taking a selfie and taking a photo. And then she ends with, those are the reasons why I love photography. So if I'm thinking about, okay, the order of my ideas, I think it makes sense to go from growing up to maybe in high school and then talk about what she's learned from photography. So I might encourage Amaya, or maybe if I'm her going through this, I might just move those paragraphs around and just see how my ideas become a little different. And then if you create a new paragraph or you start a new one, try and make most of your paragraphs a similar length. So there's really no perfect length. And this is something your readings talks about. That PDF on localized revision has some great tips on how you can understand what a paragraph is and how it should work in your writing. So this is kind of the process I want you guys to go through when you revise Essay 2 this week. All right, and like I said, I'm not expecting perfection. I'm just expecting you to try and look at it again. So if you need help, please reach out to me. I would really love to hear from a lot of you who've maybe gotten a little overwhelmed. So if you want to, email me or give my office phone a call, meet on Teams sometime, I am super happy to do so. So hopefully I will talk to you all soon, and I'm excited to see how this round of revision goes for you.